So, hello everyone. Today we have a very special guest with us, uh, Professor Saloni Sinha from Birla Institute of Management Technology. So, welcome, ma'am.
Thank you. Good morning, and thank you for making me a part of this initiative.
Uh, our pleasure, ma'am. And, ma'am, please give a brief introduction about yourself, ma'am.
Okay, I think this is the toughest job, and while I groom students to say in 2-3 lines, share about yourself during a professional interview, when we groom them, I know it's a very big challenge. So I'd just like to say a few things to let you know when I'm responding to Jagdish's questions, it comes from somewhere. So I just thought that I'll let you know what are the things I do, so that when you listen to my responses to what he asked, you will be able to connect with the background I'm coming from. So I belong to Bihar, so culturally very rich. And then, we spend most of our lives in Tata Nagar. So there's a lot of the Tata DNA in me. So you'll see a lot of commitment towards community, sustainability, ecology, environment. So we kind of look at and take care of every being and every entity that is around us and that makes us. At a personal level, got educated in Jharkhand and then moved to JNU for my higher education and expanded my horizon from linguistics to now computational linguistics or machine translation to bilingual translation. And because of which I'm also a part of the Prime Minister's speech translation team. So I'm in panel there. So sometimes I take up some translation work. Other than that, I find some time always to give back whatever I have. So that's the reason why I'm a part of some social initiatives. One of it, which I can mention, is a part of BIMTECH. We had a life skills education program for adolescent girls in a village called Nimka. So for a whole year, I handled that. I feel very proud to say that we could change the lives of few of these girls, and now today they are back into schools. They are now, running small ventures. So it was a very fulfilling experience. As a trustee and a volunteer of an NGO, Rajbala Foundation, we find time to, be caregivers and do anything that is possible for people who are ailing. So cancer patients, palliative care, end of life stage, we try to find some time. We know that time is precious, so we want to give that to people. And in that process, we have now moved on and working a lot in the area of education and health. So mental health is our focus as of now. Professionally, these days, for the past 8 years, I've been with BIMTECH, and that's where I met Jagdish, and I'm so honored to have him, in my group of people. And that has made me more sensitive towards building resources and making people fit into the not only the corporate world, but have a very meaningful contribution, wherever they are. So skills. So therefore, you can see in my introduction, I've talked about future skills. And these are the few pillars that I'm going to actually focus on also today in our interaction.
Thank you, ma'am. That's really great to hear. And I am also from Jamshedpur, so I can also connect with you.
Thank you.
So, ma'am, shall we begin with the interview?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Let's not call it an interview. It's an interaction.
Yes.
Yeah. It's just a conversation.
So, ma'am,
I'm being evaluated.
So, ma'am, please tell us, how do you tend to establish healthy relations with the students and fellow faculties?
I think one is the mindset that has been ingrained in us by our parents. We have always been told everybody is precious. Everybody around you, you must respect. And that has helped. I think people just connect. I've always found a lot of love. You give love, you get love. You give hate, you get hate. If there is a problem with a colleague, it's just over a small contextual matter. It's not that you have a problem with the person and it should remain throughout, years and years, and you don't see eye to eye. So I think respecting every individual who's around you, everything which is around you. So that has helped. Being respectful, being appreciative of each and every person's ability to do something. So there's somebody who is singing. I think, why can't I learn a bit of how singing can heal me? So, everybody has something to give to you, and you also have a lot to give to others. So the one thing that you should give is a very nice and a congenial environment around. So if you do that, and if you remain smiling throughout everything, it just kind of, it's like a magnet, don't you think so, Jagdish?
Yes.
Is a smile. So I try never to lose my smile, and I also make efforts never to make people lose my smile. Students may have felt irritated when I've put them, with a lot of work, but end of it, I think they smiled. So the smile is the biggest power, I felt. Yeah.
Yes. Thank you, ma'am. So, ma'am, the next question is, how do you try to bring in a practical approach towards subjects and make it industry oriented?
Oh, yeah. So what I do is, Jagdish, every year, because I'm going to talk about employability skills and future skills, skills of the future, or whatever you may call future skills of 2030. So at my end, I always ensure that I read a lot. And what do I read? I read a lot of industry trends, whatever industry, because the students I handle, they will go to any and every kind of industry. They will go to manufacturing, they will enter sales, they will go for operation, they may handle finance. So I don't know, they may become entrepreneurs. So what is their future? I can see them when they enter, they're just PGDM or MBA students exploring. When they leave, they're very clear. They'll go into sales, they'll go into this and that. But when they meet me, which is very early in their curriculum, which is the first trimester or the second trimester, our effort must be to help them take a decision as to what would be my, how would I leave this campus and to where. So in that process, that is what I do. I read a lot of reports by McKinsey, by KPMG, by any and every agency, which is Deloitte. They're writing about skills and future trends of the industry. And those are the places where I see where my students will be. So what do they need most? And then there are turbulent phases like COVID that happens in Jagdish, how we have handled each other during that phase. So there I found that no matter what, it's not about just communication skills, critical thinking, logical thinking. No, it is about compassion. End of it, it is compassion. So I think I prepare myself in every batch whenever they come. I like to see what next 5 years would be like, because that's where I'm going to send these students at the end of the course. Also in life. So it's not just about your curriculum, your job-oriented skills, but also life skills. So at least I make efforts to kind of keep myself very updated. The second thing I do is, Jagdish, I try to do things what my batch would love to do. Where is my batch available most of the time? They're available on Instagram. They're not available in my class. Mentally, they're clicking quick selfies, putting nice hashtags, making a fun picture meme, and then they're putting it out on the world within no time. Just look at the talent we have. So why not be there as a teacher? So I'm almost 50. You are just 25, 23, 22. I need to be like you. So the energy level, the stamina, So I think I keep myself updated in these two ways, and then design whatever I do. So this connects me with the industry, because I keep asking them, what do you want your team to do? How should they be? I mean, come on, why don't my students smile enough? I used to feel, and I used to say, why don't you smile enough? Why don't you be the first person to greet? Why are you waiting for this other person to greet? In your team, there has been a conflict. Tomorrow you don't want to talk or work together, but hell no, you have to work together. Can you avoid? Can you leave the team? Can you be a quitter? No. So I think we make it very competitive, but in a comfortable way, that it doesn't kill each other. Competition should not kill each other. Competition should build each other.
Yes.
So these are two efforts that I feel has kept me connected with the industry. And people of the industry, they guide me through. I keep asking them. I show what I create, and I share it with some very eminent people. And when I'm teaching also, if I'm teaching let's say a principle of persuasion, and I'm teaching Robert Cialdini, I will ask my students to connect with Robert Cialdini, not me. The Robert Cialdini's blogs will teach you much more. Remember that this? So
Yes.
yeah, so this is how I would like to. And now it's easier. Every CEO is available. You quickly can connect on LinkedIn, come up virtually together, build your work together. So I like to do that. I interact a lot with the industry this way. And that gives me more insights to build assignments. That creates more bonding with my industry, my own colleagues, students. Yeah.
Yes, ma'am. That's really great to hear. And ma'am, moving to the next question, how do you help your student to cope up with the competition being so high in the outside world?
I think, again, I would say the same thing. Who is your competition? First, you try to understand. You should be your own competition. So every time you should raise your bar, your own quality. You can benchmark, but with whom are you competing? First, you check that. And why are you competing? Are you competing to grow, or are you competing to show somebody else that I can do this? So it's competition. It's very competitive because numbers are large. Too many millions of students appearing for a single competitive exam, or the whole class doing a certain project. So competitiveness is extremely important. Competitive advantage is when you identify your strengths and you know that I can be a great logical thinker, but I'm not very good in creative presentations. So team up. Creative presentations can be prepared by someone who's articulate in your team and who's a great aesthetic sense, will create a beautiful presentation. You focus on your research. So your competition is with whom? First you identify that, and for what? Is there a tangible thing that you're looking like a trophy in a competition? Then there are hundreds of reasons why one will be the winner once, second time somebody else will be the winner. But I like what you did a lot, during your college days, Jagdish. You and some of your classmates, you always continuously participated in a lot of competitions, national level. And this is what I used to tell the students also, if you can recall, that who is your competition? Why are you competing with people below? That means you're going to just show up. You're anyway going to win. So why don't you compete with people who you will be working with? Tomorrow you're in a corporate world, a reputed B school ranked above you, that person is also in the same team. You're working with all of these, all the different good B schools, all the people work in the same team eventually. So you should compete with those kinds of people. So always choose your competition and choose your strengths. That will help you win that competition. And winning is when you raise your bar and you achieve it. It's not that you do something to show off and you put people down. So don't worry. Competitions are of various kinds. That's one where you will need a mentor, to help you understand where is that competition. And on the other hand, also remember that you should always aspire for quality. Do not compromise on that. When you are doing exceptionally good work speaks the loudest. You don't have to tell people that I did the best. Your work, you will become the go-to person, right? Then they say, oh, the team needs some exceptionally good research and some brain. Jagdish ke paas chal. That is competition. That is success, right?
That's really great to hear, ma'am. And moving to the next question, do you have any extracurricular activities or programs to enhance the skills of the students or expose them to the real world challenges?
I absolutely love this part of my teaching. A lot happens beyond the classroom. And in my institute, I'm very fortunate that I have mentored clubs and conduits. And since I joined BIMTECH, I have handled a team of 47 students when we were out in the Nimka village, working in this life skills project. The village did not have toilets, we did not have food, 40-degree temperature, but we would still be out there. But that 1 year of presence brought excellent infrastructure to that school. Now we have washrooms there. Now if the team goes, there's a lot of comfort because there's fan, and the Anganwadis have become very active now. The school enrollment has increased. So you said competition. Where would you compete? See the impact. That is where you should compete. Who made the largest impact and changed the world? I think that is important for your age group. So when there are clubs and conduits, they are called leadership laboratories, and now I term them as future skills laboratories. They are also life skills laboratories. So clubs and conduits play a big role. So I was a part of this, life skills project called Project Chiraiya. Selflessly, 47 students volunteered. Later, we now have CSR conduit, etc., etc. And I've handled the editorial conduit. So editorial conduit takes care of the publications of the college. At that time, Britan, the newsletter, and any other, place where we had to utilize writing skills, editorial team was there. I made sure that those students who we selected were very good in writing, isn't it? So let us give them opportunities to write and publish. So during that time, some of the editorial students, they wrote articles which got published in magazines. It got published in, newspapers and journals. They got journal articles. So they wrote book review. They interviewed eminent people like Mr. Prakash Iyer, Mr. Amitabh Kant. And the editorial team, after that, I handled, in fact, along with my editorial conduit charge, I had Majlis, which is a debating and theatre society. I'm very, very proud to share that Majlis has a presence beyond the college. And we have bigger, larger festivals where more than 500 amateur artists come and perform. We use that platform to raise a voice. So that is through street theatre. We made communities aware of SDGs and their commitment to pick up themes. And this involves the student and college crowd. So Majlis has done some very big events for the college. He brings youth branding. They have hosted the Business Literature Festival, which is first of its kind, student-led. So this gives them huge potential to grow, learn skills, manage each other. So in my teams, and now I also handle the media conduit. So we made the corporate film, which often our aspirants have to watch about BIMTECH. It is powered by Majlis and media students. So this is where they actually learn to handle different mentalities, people. They understand people better with whom they will work. So one thing I have told the students in my team, that any opportunity that comes to me comes to you on the same way. I'll give a quick example if I have time. One quick example is a student of PGDM enters PGDM course without a clarity of whether he'll go in marketing or HR. Family says go for marketing, and he feels he should go into HR. HR has various domains. So HR has training development, etc., etc. Now a student joined Majlis. It is my responsibility as a mentor to feed that part of his professional need also and prepare. So what I did was I was invited as a resource person in a management development program of banking, finance, and insurance professionals of Nepal. During that time, it was internship. The student was in an internship with a very reputed company and was into training and development. So I told her, please come and be my co-trainer. I convinced my authorities that I have to have my student as a co-trainer because she's in HR, because she's going to training and development, because my session will be on theatre-based techniques in team building. And Majlis is all about debating theatre. So this is going to align. So can you please allow me to bring her into my class? And they agreed. And she offered this training along with me, went back to her internship, she replicated. So you see, the club and conduit is not just a simple place to have a networking and have fun, but it grows you and it gives you such opportunities. And similarly in media conduit, there are people who wrote very good articles. She was in marketing and we made her write an article in the marketing domain and it got published in a marketing magazine. Just yesterday, one of my current media students, she's in insurance. She has written a small feature along with me on women leaders in insurance. Look, she's in insurance. She's a media conduit student. My job is to align the two. She has never written anything, but writing skills are very essential for future, right? For your workplace. So what did I do? I just created a platform of a journal, a space in the journal. I was able to manage a space in our own, journal, which means she got an ISSN publication, which is an object for her skills. She doesn't have to say I'm good in writing skills. or I'm committed towards diversity because the leadership, women leadership is the theme. We together developed the article. It has got published. I can share that link. It will be up there very soon on our website. So she, being a media student and insurance student, has worked on women leadership in insurance, got a publication like an ISSN publication. That article is an object, bigger impact than your resume. What you write in your resume, you have to carry that skill with you, object, which will do the work for you. So you see, these are the roles that clubs and conduits have, and this is how BIMTECH utilizes such 18 or so, and we may open up more. We have specialization, our clubs and conduits, we have active roles they play in running the institute. So very student-led, ownership. Now, I'll just close this with one sentence. Why Majlis and Media is a very prized team of my institute, I'm sorry for saying that over here very openly, is because they have they seem to have, according to the authorities, the highest level of sense of belongingness and commitment to the institute work and to their self goals as well. So when I hire students for the team as a mentor, I don't hire. Actually, the students select their junior team. All I want them to tell me is this individual with a very high sense of belongingness? One. Is BIMTECH his or her identity? Two. I hope he or she will not lose his or her own identity while he upholding the identity of the institute. So this is important. The individual, the organization with which you're attached, high sense of commitment, high sense of belongingness, high sense of integrity and ethics. Other skills, they will learn while working together. So I don't care if they don't know good writing. I don't care if they don't, create great artwork. I'm okay because that person can be trained.
I'm really sure, ma'am, that these activities and clubs and conduits will help these students in their near future. Now, moving to the next question. How does the college enhances the skills of the faculty and prepare them according to the industry standards?
I am the biggest beneficiary of the policies here. Just few days back, we had 3 days of faculty development program where the entire faculty was sitting and attending sessions which were on books. This training session was through books of various domains. So you see, 60, 70 faculty members of all age groups sitting in a room, brainstorming on topics like sustainability, economics, future of India, what would life be like, technology and us, communication, n number of things. I can't tell you how beautiful this was because this intergenerational, you see how beautiful it is to have a very young, fresher faculty sitting and brainstorming with a very, very senior, accomplished faculty. So that's the way we kind of have a very nurturing environment. Opportunities are created by us and supported by the institute. Opportunities are brought by the institute and we are given, all of us have got trained with, let's say, Harvard. Harvard had a course and we all did that. So many of us have attended eminent people delivering sessions. So we are sent to different cities, even outside the country, for developing ourselves. And we participate in a lot of dialogues. And so, for example, me, I am very experimental and innovative. So I kind of, I kind of take that liberty. And that's because my institute allows me to. And because of which, today my innovations are being talked about at global levels. So had that not been supported by my institute, had they said, "Ki ye kya hai? Why are you doing this? You're only wasting time," then probably today, in a few months, I would not be going to Academy of Management conference to showcase the innovations in teaching and coming up as an innovative teacher as an identity that I have now. As far as research is concerned, we get enough of financial support and mentoring also from eminent scholars of the world. So being an institute which is talking about globalization, global mindset, I think every individual, I'll give a very quick example of how the staff, the lowest level staff to the highest level of authorities, all of us have done theater together. So you see, that's the kind of bonding you develop when you work together and you brainstorm on multidisciplinary topics. That just opens your mind, and that definitely improves the classes. Or if you get some other nice projects, let's say consulting work, institute allows you to take that up. I did for Ministry of External Affairs. I'm doing for growing enough, right? So my institute has excellent policies, and let me add here, it is not just centered around faculty. It is equally open for the students. And I have achieved whatever I'm mentioning just now is when I worked with my students. We have worked together. So it's just not faculty development, it is co-mentoring, reverse mentoring. I learn a lot from my students. Most of the faculty members are very well traveled. They have been from industry. So we have that mix of academic, industry, all over the world.
That's really great to hear, ma'am, and I am very sure that your answer will help the students in getting into the best institute. So, ma'am, moving to the next question, what are the interventions and approaches you bring in apart from curriculum to train or teach students?
Okay, yeah. So one thing is my philosophy, and it doesn't mean that it has to be the best and the most correct one. Every teacher has a strength. In my case, as I said, I look at sustainability a lot. So one of the small assignments that I created in the class, I had to teach about Aristotelian ethos, logos, pathos. So, and I also thought that the students must become aware of green communication, which is not being talked about. So the assignment was centered around just one word, seed. And the seed word opened the minds of at least 40 new vocabulary and terms from the world of sustainability, like greenwashing, which is when CSR funds are not really reflected correctly, green buildings, when it was about products which are just, buildings which are created using the natural resources more. So, green pods, n number of such topics got discussed in the class. Every student gave that presentation. So, and it was a 3-minute thing, it's recorded as well. So when my institute went ahead for reporting on what do you do to promote SDGs, I already had an assignment to share and the recordings were available. So SDGs are central to our existence, and we have that, each one of us must have that mission to help the world achieve that. And you can all see climate change is affecting us so badly. So even if I'm a communication faculty, sustainability, climate change risk is something I must address. So this is one example. Another example I would love to share, because I want to share the journey of that assignment. It was during COVID, and it was a challenging time. I had a very senior family member, I was the only one to take care. I had no time to handle what to do, how much time to give to my students, how to build my assignments in a way. I just read a lot of reports on COVID and this and that. I found that during COVID, all the students are also facing similar challenges. Somebody is ill, somebody in the family is ill, very traumatic. We were losing family members, friends, loved ones. Anybody you lost who was not even known to you, you felt petrified. The whole environment was so traumatic. 2 years. And that is the time you're teaching virtually for the first time. You have not seen your students. So I designed an assignment which was a part of the international business course, where I have to teach them enhance their cross-cultural intelligence. So I designed a competition called COVID-19 Coping with COVID-19 across cultures. And the same assignment, because I taught 2 sections, I gave the same to my other section as well. And I would be very happy to share that it was very challenging. Nobody had done it before. Nobody had enough time in hand. Everybody was like, how to do it? Nobody could help them out either. But look at the beauty. Every student group owned it up. They put their best. And who was mentoring me? Mr. Abhijit Bhaduri, the very big name in HR and talent acquisition. You can Google and see his stature. He is into visual communication. He is into storytelling through sketch notes, and that used to inspire me, and I used to share often in the class on a topic. I would just say, look at the sketch note, you will learn about it. So that's when I decided everybody loved artwork, creating mandala arts, and all that became a trend during COVID, coping for during COVID. So what I found was 21 comic books were created in my class. And that was a very beautiful assignment. I'm very proud of my students who agreed to do that, despite the fact that they did not want to do that. They did it because, of course, it was an assignment at the end of the trimester. It was terrible, but they did it. And the beauty of it is that 21 beautiful comic books are up. Never before kind of activity brought students together. I would meet my students at 11 p.m. in the night. Whenever they were mentally free, I would meet them. I didn't teach them, but we kind of explored it together, and they picked up the skills that now will be useful for you. You won't believe the trimester was over almost. It was their end term, 5th of January 2020. Just 10 days, last 10 days, they had done this assignment. And my mentor, who writes amazing case studies, who's already an award winner case study writer, I shared my assignment with him because I thought that I had failed. I had not done a great work as a teacher because I thought that my assignment was not accepted. You are evaluated by your students also. You hear the reactions. I was very upset, a little upset. I shared with him, and he was like, wow, you've done such an amazing, such a unique assignment. And he said that we have an Emerald publication issue, last date 15th January. Will your students make comic for that case? Then let's target it. I said, sorry. If I tell my student, they'll also probably say sorry. But remember, I said any opportunity that comes to me goes to my students. I floated this message to the 21 groups. And I have this clock 11:59 running in my class. So deadline is always like 11:59. Until then, I'm okay, your assignment should reach me. No deadline like 2 o'clock. Date should not change, is my way of handling the deadlines. But that sticks. So I told my students, you have time until 11:59. Let us know if any group is agreeing to do this with me, because it will be a very challenging assignment. This one group of 21 comic groups, one group sent me a message and they said, yes, we will do that. Wasn't I grateful? Very much. Because I was already saying I was written off as a teacher, but still these 5 students said, karenge. And we worked night and day, 3 to 4 days. 15 January was the deadline. 11 January was our own deadline. We met, the case is written on a startup. I used to mentor them. So they are incubated at BIMTECH. We have Atal Incubation Center here. They were the first cohort members. I spoke to them. I said, we want to write a case. Do you agree? We developed comics. My students who had never made comics had done it in the class out of compulsion. They created another comic book of 8 to 12 frames. They contributed the comic. The case we submitted on 15th of January. It went into review. It wasn't rejected. It got published in December 21. So January 21 till December 21 is the journey. Class assignment, which I know and I'm claiming that might have been mentally rejected. Still today we have a historic achievement where me and my students together have published a comic case, which is a very rare achievement. Very few people are doing this in the world because we did it together. And then we went on to get shortlisted in Times Higher Education Awards Asia 2021. We went ahead and presented at NACRA 2021, where we got exceptionally good feedback. This got published. Another one got published. Research papers are getting published, and those students are out already placed. Yet they are connected, and we're still continuing to work together. So as you said, what do you do differently? I think I just co-create things together. I like you to design your own assignments. If you like singing, Jagdish, tell me how I can create an assignment based on your singing talent. I think I would be very happy to do that. Yeah.
Thank you, ma'am. That's really great to hear. And ma'am, I want to tell you that out of those 21 assignments, one was from my group as well.
Yeah. And they were so beautiful. Thank you for agreeing to do that. You need to be courageous to be creative, and to get accepted as a creative person, it takes a long time. Creative people are known to be mavericks, but end of the day, you are going to lead by example. And I think we are achieving beautifully. Teacher, student, together we are achieving beautifully. So BIMTECH is all about doing it together.
Yes. So ma'am, moving to the next question. This is the last question. And what are the valuable advice would you like to give to the students to have a prosperous career ahead?
Okay. I think future is tough. It wasn't as tough for us, I'll be honest, because we had very limited professions to choose from. And we were of that mindset where we saw our parents joining a company and retiring from the same company. And if they were really good, they continued also for 7-8 years more. My dad continued even after retirement until he said, I can't. So what I'm saying to all of you is, you all have to be very prepared for these quick transformations. Okay. So my generation has also seen chula at homes. Till today, the most sophisticated robots. Right? So we have seen the transitions, and we have learned to adapt while remaining human. So don't let machine take over you. Remain human is one. Please acknowledge the human beings around you and not the devices around you. Don't stay latched to a device all the time. Get latched to people. You all are missing out on that. This generation is missing out on people around you. So be more human. And the most important thing is be original. There is a huge motivation to control C, control V. Yeah? All the time. All the time. And then you have these bots which paraphrase and they give you a 0 similarity index. But that's not you. That's not your talent. That's somebody else's talent. So where are you? You're losing yourself. So be original. The third thing I would like to say is be ready to bring something new, because there's a lot of anxiety. Within no second you reject. You have a YouTube channel, you have 5 seconds, you skip the ad in the second second. That's the only stamina or window you have to create an impression. So imagine 30 minutes presentations won't work. 30 seconds presentations will work. So precision in your thinking is required. In your presentation, you have to build yourself. So I think mindsets, you need to have the right mindsets now. And I don't mean that terms and terminologies floating all around like growth mindset, fixed mindset, this and that. I mean a mindset which is appreciative of everything around. And you agree to grow. Don't run and trip people over to become the winner. Run faster to become the winner. Let the others try the race according to their levels. So build your stamina to read. Read as much as you can. And now you have multiple ways to consume content. Podcast. Sunna acha lagta hai, listen to podcast. If you want to read at a glance, look at sketch notes. If you want, to read a book, read the summary first. Listen to these authors on YouTube. You don't have to read the book if you don't like reading books, but you can listen to the interview. So now you can stay connected with CEOs. I can't imagine that. It wasn't possible. So I think future is going to be great for everybody who is courageous, who is ready to take on Don't give up no matter what. Your health, mental and physical, is equally important. Don't compromise on that. A bad spine won't help you achieve anything professionally. So postures, uh, please take care of yourself and everybody else while you grow in your world, professionally or socially, and if you balance both, give a lot of love. Yeah.
Yes, ma'am. And thank you very much, ma'am, for your time. And I am very sure that uh, your interview will help the students in taking the best decision for themselves. Thank you.
Absolutely. And just enjoy and accept the decision. Don't regret where you go. Because where you go, choose, love the place, love everything, you will grow. And my compliments to platforms like yours, where College Dunya, is really trying to make people connect more and more. So I'm very happy that you brought me in. And one day, many of them who have listened to me here would be meeting me also in my institute, I hope, very soon. Yeah, all the best.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much.